So you work for CCA?
Yes, yeah, I am a school outreach manager for CCA. Been with CCA for about 15 years now. So, and I worked with Steve in the Hockey Academy when they first dreamed up the idea. So, kind of nice to
Oh, nice.
and talk to folks about it and see the success they've had. So, he reached out and said, "Hey, you talk to these families about what you offer." I'm like, "I'm happy to do it. Happy to come
Yeah.
in and say a few words and answer questions."
Well,
Um,
kind of, just because we're coming from public school. So like,
yeah,
I
yeah,
know
I
he
get
did
you.
say he'll help us through it all.
Yeah.
Um, but I just wanted to see if you had anything more to add or whatnot.
Yeah, that's why I'm here to really kind of give you an overview of what CCA offers and answer the questions that you might have just off of that. But the nice thing is that Steve, his own kids, went through it,
Right.
so
Yeah,
they
he
they
knows.
clearly know what it's like from parent side, and they're great advocates for us. But I mean, I don't want to give away all the information. But if there's any big questions you have while it's just the two of us, I'm happy to answer them in the meantime. There's a presentation I'm going to give when the when
When
the
it
show,
starts. Okay.
but you have my undivided attention at the moment.
Yeah, so like, so when I think he said wait till after this school year is done.
To start the enrollment process.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're already enrolling for next year, but I'll
Okay.
default to what, for them to probably keep things a little more organized. They may have a process they want you to follow, which is fine. I mean,
Same
there's,
thing.
yeah, there's no, at this point, you have 3 months to get enrolled, and there is no deadline to enroll at CCA. But again, they
Right.
may have some kind of timelines they want you to follow to keep everybody on the same page. So I won't overstep that, but
Right.
yeah, the
Okay.
process only takes a few days
All right.
on our end, as long as you provide the required documents, and those are proof of residency, like a lease agreement, a mortgage statement, a utility bill, something like that.
Okay.
Proof of age for the student, like a birth certificate or a passport. Most people have birth certificate. um,
Okay.
the immunization record, and then also there's a couple of documents you fill out online for us: our application, our student information form, and a charter school notification form. Once we have those things from you, then it really is on our team to uh, schedule the courses, ship the materials, ship the technology, and that's a scheduled orientation. That's something we also do, so you learn your way around our learning management system. Um,
Okay.
but but those are kind of the steps, and
And for
it
the
does get super
courses,
busy in the summer, though. I'll give you that. So,
yeah, I was
so
wondering.
everybody kind of waits to the end of August, and that's probably worst case scenario because then you really are rushing it. Um, but yeah, perfectly fine to do it in July or late July. It's still plenty of time.
Okay. And then for the courses, he's going into seventh grade. So I do have the courses that he was put into the middle school,
I'm going
like
to assume they're following.
the
He's at a public
same.
school now, so
Yeah.
yeah, he's going into seventh. You said.
Yes.
So he takes seventh grade math, seventh grade social studies, seventh grade science, seventh grade English language
Right.
arts, and
Okay.
unless he's in an honors program, and that would be probably
No,
the only big difference, or has an IEP. I'm assuming
no.
no. So pretty straightforward for us. We follow the state standards, so it's
Okay.
really going to be taking what are the seventh grade core courses and what you call specials, so music, arts, health, phys ed, and career planning. So
Does
those are the
hockey
those
count as a phys ed?
It'll certainly count as physical activity, but the course is health and phys ed. So
Oh,
we
okay.
want to teach them about healthy living and teach them about body systems and nutrition, things like that,
Okay.
and then put those things into practice. So as far as like getting activity in their day, they won't have a shortage of that. But they still have lessons that are about the healthy living and the body and things like that.
And you provide everything then that he would need.
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
We try to make it. We don't want any barriers, right? We don't want to say, oh, you can go to the school, except you have to invest a bunch of dollars to have the equipment and get the none of that. We provide the laptop, we provide the materials that that they need for their lessons.
Okay.
We also provide some optional things like if you want a second monitor, which I'd highly suggest, you can get a second monitor. If you want a printer for your household, we'd give you that. If you want, we could pick out what type of mouse or headset that he wants. So there's those things you can, customize based on what you're, some people are like, we got plenty of monitors. We don't need we don't need an extra one in our house. So
Right. I guess
we
even
leave it up
after
to the family,
COVID.
to decide what pieces they want, but we're going to provide all that stuff for you.
Okay, perfect. And then how about unenrolling from our school? Is that what, do I just send them an email?
You don't have, there is no process in Pennsylvania that requires you to withdraw from the district.
Oh,
Now
okay.
the district might tell you they have a process and they might bug you about it and say, hey, you need to do X, Y, Z. You could choose to do it or not do it. But that form that I mentioned, one of the forms I mentioned, the charter school notification form, that's exactly what it is. It's a standard document that the state has created for families to fill out when they enroll in a charter school, that the charter school can then provide back to the school district to say, this family has enrolled their student with us. And that's sort of the way the process. So we communicate with the district to say, hey, this student is with us now. Transfer any records you have so we can, make sure we're not missing anything on that front. So we kind of take care of all that part of it.
Okay.
That said, if you want to tell your district, you can. It's fine.
Like, but I don't, it's
you.
not like mandatory that I have to tell them or
nope, nothing,
at a certain time.
nothing. Their process would be, and as a public school, like they have some documentation on their end through the Pennsylvania has a database system essentially. So they have to put in a code for where that student went, and we put in a code for that. We're getting that student and what date it happened. But again, that's not stuff you have to be involved in. We take care of that.
Okay, that's just saying that he is enrolled in a school or.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and so that's why that document kind of tells them that information, and it's standardized for the state so that they don't have to know 150 different types of standard form that the state has developed that has the necessary information on it, so that once you've filled it out and signed it, we provide it to them. It kind of covers all the bases. I'll give you let me share my screen. If I can, there it is, share. And I'll share this one. And I'll admit on the front end that this presentation is meant for people enrolling at CCA. So there are some differences that I'll kind of skip through some things, knowing that you're also, Megan, you're looking at middle school. So there's some high school stuff in here. It's nice information to have, but I will move through this a little more quickly than I typically would. So I'll give you some basics about CCA. We've been at this for over 20 years now. And that's important, right? Because we're not just learning how to do online education. We've learned over the last 2 decades how to do this and do it right. We started back in 2003. We had 400 kids. We have now 29,000 students across the state of Pennsylvania. So that shows that we're doing a good job. Families come back year after year. They tell their friends about us, and that's how we grow. We are a public school, so there is no cost to go to CCA. Obviously, there's a cost of the Hockey Academy because they're providing you a lot of other things, but the CCA part, there's no extra cost for you to be CCA, be a family at CCA. In terms of academics, we build our own curriculum. Again, we've been doing this for 2 decades. We figured out how to do it and what an online curriculum should be and how it should function. We built our own learning management system to house all of our courses. We do follow state standards because we're a public school in Pennsylvania. But it's web-based, it's online, it's available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. As long as you have internet access, you can get into our system, you can get into the courses. You're going to find that they're engaging. It's not just all text-based, read this, multiple choice questions. It has a lot of engaging elements to it. I was saying to you, Megan, earlier, so for Mars knowledge, we do provide the materials you need, the laptop for every student, the course materials based on the classes they're taking. And that will look different depending on the age of the student. As they get older, there are less materials because there's a lot more digital stuff that they can handle, but you will still get materials for their courses when it's, it makes sense for the type of course it is. And that tech closet was what I was talking about, Megan, where you can choose if you want a second monitor for the student, if you want the printer for your household, if you want to pick a different type of mouse, or pick the headset that has the bunny ears on it, or the little cat ears on it. Like, they can kind of make those personal choices about their equipment. We do have a choice in instructional model. Again, I'm going to defer back to the Hockey Academy might have some standards where they want the students to be attending live sessions on a regular basis. We do provide them on a daily basis, but we don't require our students to attend them. So a CCA student can choose to go to live instruction with their teacher and their classmates, or they can choose to work asynchronously, or they can do, they can look back at the recordings from the sessions if they want to work at a different time of day. We kind of give them all the options, and that's every day in every class. They can choose whether they're going to do that in real time with their classmates, do it asynchronously, or, whatever works best for them.
Quick question, real quick on that.
Yeah, go ahead.
So is each class then at a certain time?
It is. Yep,
Okay.
they're scheduled.
So yeah, so
So
like 9 o'clock would be ELA.
Yeah,
Or
exactly
like
right.
that
There'd be
kind
a
of
certain
thing.
set time when and so that students just in general aren't having to pick, do I go to math or do I, they're set up as a schedule that flows throughout the day. So again, going back to the Hockey Academy, they're
Right.
probably gonna, build some things around the day too, where you may have to sacrifice the live instruction session to have ice time, let's say. So I don't know his schedule to tell you how they're doing that, but the recordings are always there. So even if they weren't there live, they can still see the live instruction that happened if they were busy doing something else at the academy that day.
Okay, and then if he is doing it asynchronously and has a question, would he then work with the guy at CCA to answer those questions, or he could then talk to the teacher of the class? Both?
So both. Yeah, it really depends what the question is, right? So I know there's going to be a learning coach that the Hockey Academy has there in the room. So if it's something non-academic, like I'm not sure what I'm supposed to do here, can you help me with these instructions? Well, the learning coach could probably assist with that. But if it's, hey, I'm not understanding this concept, or I need some additional instruction, you want to reach out to the teacher on that and say, hey, I'm struggling with this. Can I get some additional help? Or, what do you recommend? And we have a lot of tools, and I'm going to get to a slide here in a second so I'm going to skip over a typical day because this is kind of more based on what CCA does. Virtual instruction, we talked about, that's an interactive space, class space with classmates. So we talked about that. Our teachers are Pennsylvania certified teachers. They're teaching throughout the day. So it's not like somebody who's doing this part-time. This is their full-time gig. And the communication is kind of that key part, right? So they're teaching lessons during the day at certain times. The rest of their day is really individual attention, working with individual students or small groups of students to give additional help, answering questions through or chat, through email, through phone calls. So that the key thing is that communication, right? That the students and or learning coach let us know what they need. If they're struggling with something, we need to know it so we can help. I'll just touch on this real quickly, and I will get to that part about the learning management system and some of the tools. We do have courses for regular core courses. We have honors courses available. We have AP courses. We have dual enrollment courses at the high school level. So a lot of different opportunities for students to get the courses they need based on, I'm assuming we're thinking college here for your kids. So they can get some college credits under their belt even before they graduate from CCA through some dual enrollment programs. All right, here's the screen I was looking for. So this is EDIO. This is our learning management system. This is where they log in each day. And in here, they're going to find everything they need. So it's got their grade book. It's got their communication tools. It has their calendar, so they know what lessons they have today and when live instruction is happening. So you see in here, there's a little, this is a sidebar. My mouse, there it goes. Yeah, come on, mouse. So a little chat thing right here. You click on that. It opens up a chat pod, and you can send a message directly to a teacher, and parents, you can do it too. So it's a quick and easy way for kids to send us messages. There's also a webmail if you want to do something a little more long form, type out a message, you can send them an email through our system too. So the communication tools are right there for a student, very easy. And I want to point out this EDIO Go portion. We have a mobile app that's for our parents. So it's optimized for a mobile device. It's not for students to do their coursework. They would never do it on a screen like this. But you might just want to be able to log in and check their grades, see if they're keeping up, see if there's any communications that came through from the teachers. So that's developed for you guys. to have quick and easy access to what's going on. As far as support, what we're just saying, like what do we need our students to do? They got to log in each day. That's how attendance happens at a cyber school. We have to have them log in every school day, whether that's at 8 a.m., 8 p.m., anything before 11:59 to get credit for having attended school that day. The number of hours they put in each day can vary. Some days they might be particularly busy. Maybe they're traveling. They have to, leave a little early on Friday to go to a tournament. Okay, we're probably going to work some things in earlier in the week to make sure what was assigned for Friday gets taken care of before they leave. But if Friday is a little bit shorter than the other days in the week, no problem. As long as the work's getting done throughout the week, we're good. But they do have to log in each day. We want them to do their best. We want them to work with integrity and honesty and ask for the help when they need it, right? So that's kind of key things for a student. We do deal with students who have IEPs or 504 plans. We have a full special ed department, very good at personalizing it at CCA. So people really do appreciate CCA if it has students with special needs. We have school counselors that are there to help with all kinds of things you'd expect of a school counselor. We have some evening supports available for students to get help outside of regular hours. And really our teachers, like I said, they're personalizing every day for their students. The learning coach part, this is going to be something that's happening through the academy. They're going to have somebody on staff who's going to take care of the day-to-day, making sure the students are following their schedule and communicating. But as a parent, you still have the same access, and you are part of the conversation too. We want to hear from you and what we could do to help you, and you're there to encourage your student too. That's why we give you that full access through Edio, so you can see exactly what they're seeing and you can help them as much as anybody else can. We do have our family service centers around the state. That maybe doesn't terribly important for you just at this point, but we do have a center in Malvern, very close to where you guys are at. Norristown, it's moving over to Bluebell as well. But these are just places where families can come to get extra help. It's where we have some of our events throughout the year. It's just so you guys have a physical location if you need to come get any extra help from CCA or take part in any kind of activities. We do our state testing at those centers as well. I already mentioned the enrollment process, but I'll just kind of really quickly mention it again that there's some required documentation we have to get from you. So proof of age, proof of residency, charter school form, there's a student information form and an application. Those are online documents that you complete. Immunization record we also need. You submit those to us online. We verify them. We can place the students in the courses, ship the materials. They're ready to start. We are already enrolling, but like I said, Megan, Steve may have some, timelines he wants you to follow as far as getting enrolled. So I'll leave that to him to communicate to you guys. But all right, that was my presentation. What questions did that bring anything to mind that you wanted to ask more about?
No, I think that covered everything from my end. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Helpful. Yeah, I've been doing it for so long. I also often forget what that this is new for families. Like I've been in it for 15 years, and it's second nature to me now. But I realize it's still new for a lot of families.
Thank you. I appreciate your time.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. All right. Well, I'm gonna dismiss you. I guess I'm in charge now. So hey, nice meeting you, folks, and hope you have a great night.
All right.
Thanks, Tom. Take care.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.